Hello, viewers. Welcome to amuGOLD-TV, and this is a special edition. As you all know, a season of love. And what do you think? Let's talk about love. And with me on this show today are so many people, but I have a co-host, and this person you've been seeing for a while on this particular channel. Do you want to know? Yeah. With me is Grace for Line.
Thank you so much.
I can see you're blushing.
Yeah, because it's a season of love, and of course, it has to show on my face. I'm already feeling that love. I'm already feeling that vibe. Yeah. So, like he rightly said, viewers, on this special edition of the show on amuGOLD-TV, we are bringing love your way. We want to talk about love because love is very important. And this time around, we want to go on a different route. And what is that route? We'll be talking about self-love as a single. Now, I hope that is an interesting topic which you would want to sit back and relax.
Good. And at this particular point, I'm sure everybody knows what love is. And I'm sure you know that love is a beautiful thing. And it's not just one person. As much as you need to love yourself, you need to love your neighbors too. And so to discuss this topic further, we have some guests with us. And on my left hand side here is Miss Kenny Ayegosi. She is an agric economist. And right beside her, this handsome young man.
Thank you.
Yeah, this man is a data analyst and a member of amuGOLD Group as well. And his name is Taye Oyeni.
Glad to be here.
You're welcome. At this point, I'm not the only one on the show. It's over to you.
And to continue the introduction, from my left side, we have the pleasure of Mr. Olubenga, a husband and a staff of amuGOLD Global Network. Sir, it's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
And from the extreme end, we also have Mrs. Edo Esther, a mom and a staff of amuGOLD Global Network. Mom, it's good to have you here.
Love it to be.
Thank you for joining us. We all know love is kind, love is patient, love is sacrifice, love is all about going extra mile for your neighbor, for your family, for yourself. So, since we're going to be focusing on self-love from the single perspective, I would like to start with Miss Kendi. Can you tell us what you think about self-love?
Oh, thank you very much, ma'am. From my own perspective, I would say self-love is you recognizing your worth, your value, and your weakness, and accepting who you are and treating yourself with compassion, kindness, and respect. So that's what I can say.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Kenny. You pointed out some words or some keywords there, which is valuing yourself, understanding your strength and weakness, and embracing it. Wow, you just hit the nail at the point, and that's really nice. Thank you. So over to you, Mr. Taye Oyeni, our data analyst. Yeah, he's looking dashing, and I know we all want to hear his perspective about self-love. So, sir, what is your perspective about self-love?
All right, thank you so much. Self-love. In this period of pleasure, it's Valentine period, and many people start, especially the married people on social media, everybody, surprising, everybody peppered. Now, the truth is, if as a single person, I do not love myself very well, I'll feel oppressed, so oppressed that I'll start thinking about my life. Hey, people are already getting married, but the truth is, if I do not value myself, if I do not love myself, how do I expect somebody to love me? So I feel self-love is appreciating who you are. Let them know, say you did, like just appreciate yourself, like value yourself. Try to work on your weaknesses, try to work on things that make you less perfect. So I feel with that, you give yourself that worth. Yes, you give yourself that worth. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much.
You know what? I think the particular point, one of the words he said last.
Yeah.
Identifying the weakness and disregarding whatsoever anybody will say.
And particularly, I'm more interested in the fact he said not yielding to pressure. Now, the PDAs that will be going on social media, blah blah, and all that, even people that will go as far as buying gifts for themselves and put it on social media just to put that impression that their man gifts them or stuff like that. Yeah, that's like putting pressure. Don't let anybody pressure you like that. So thank you very much.
Now, I want to point out the fact he said something, and I want to pick it out. And I think not in the wrong perspective, though, but another way to show that self-love is during this season you can spoil yourself, but not at the extent of posting it on media like and not in the negative aspect of people saying this person his wife no, but like spoil yourself, go to a restaurant, like enjoy yourself. Yeah, exactly. So
that's actually nice. Thank you for that. So we will not just be limiting this thing to the singles now, make it come be like saying only singles. We get married people for here, so we have married people here, and that will bring that will bring me to shifting the discussion to this other part. So, Mr. Winger, it's nice to have you in our studio once more, and we're talking about self-love, though we've just talked about from the single perspective. Now we want to know, from a married man perspective, what do you think self-love is?
Thank you very much. To be candid about this topic, self-love, I think, just like the guys on the left-hand side talked about, the weaknesses, the strength that we have to embrace, and one of the ways I feel as a married person, if you are going to embrace your weakness, you just have to work on it as well. That's the only way you can show the self-love that we are talking about. Because you can't be useful to yourself alone if you don't work on this whole thing that we are talking about, the strength and the weakness. So, in order, from my own perspective, to deal with this self-love and to show it, you have to work on your weakness so that it can be useful to others. While you are useful to others, it will show that you that thing that seems like a stigma that might draw you back or that might make you not to be to stand out among your peers. You have to deal with it as early as possible as you identify it. So that's one way I feel self-love can also be dealt with and can also be shown. Work on your weakness, work on your strength, whatever strength that you have. Let me give an example. If you are somebody that doesn't like calling, you identify it as early as possible. It's not possible that you say you not call your loved ones, your spouse, your wife, your what's it called, your in-laws, because they are part of you. So you have to cultivate that particular habit. Learn how to start calling, learn how to start checking on people, learn how to put people into your consideration. So if not calling before is a weakness on your part, you have to work on it, because that's the only way, that self-love that we are talking about. Because if you fail in that aspect, people will eventually talk and it might not sound well with you. So that's what I feel about that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Biga. Thank you for the perspective. You came in working on your weakness and improving. That's the only way you can relate with even the extended people in the family, your in-laws and all that, and that is very important. So ma'am, we would like to get your own perspective about self-love. As a mother in the house, what do you think self-love is?
Oh, thank you very much. Self-love, let me say, self-love to me means appreciating, valuing yourself. It's the act of prioritizing your own well-being and happiness. Now, as a mother, if you did not love yourself and value yourself, how do you love the children? And marriage is deep, and in a marriage, you need to love yourself first. Love yourself unconditionally. After childbirth, we have changes in our body as a mom. But don't break down. Love yourself the way you are. Because without loving yourself, it will be hard for you to take care of the children.
You said it all. I mean, the perspective you came in, which I actually really like, is the fact you said after childbirth. Now, there are a lot of changes. You know, that's where the body shaming start coming, the stretch mark, the big tummy. And these are some of the pressure that a lot of married women go through, that they feel they are not as beautiful as they were when their husband first met them. And sometimes these are some of the reasons why most men would go outside to, you know, cultivate the habit of having side chicks.
Yes,
But as a confident woman, as a woman that knows your worth, giving birth to a child, bringing a life,
Does not mean you should lose your value.
Exactly.
At all.
So thank you very much. And I don't know if my co-hosts have something to say about what she just said, because what she said is so deep.
No, there is this particular issue which I observed about women, and the truth is, most women, they let's say women or mothers, they tend to love their children at times than even themselves. You can imagine giving all for children. Let's look at it from the aspect of giving birth, carrying babies in for 9 months, the pain and co. But the fact is, I do wonder why God created them in that particular manner. Even men are just amazing.
I know, right?
And just so amazing. And the fact that you don't let this limit who you are, you don't let it reduce the value you have before the childbirth, that is also self-love. Like striving to get your shape back, your body, and that's why you see many mothers after childbirth, after some months thereabouts, still go back to the gym. And you can imagine.
Back in shape.
Exactly.
And it's for their husbands
And
too.
that's self-love. That's a particular point that I really love. And I'm sure our viewers right now are enjoying the show and learning and also picking points on how to like appreciate themselves, love themselves, be the better version of themselves. So at this point, I think we should switch to something else. Self-love. You know, this love issue we're talking about, the Valentine or the paparazzi, I'm sure it will bring heartbreak to some people. So I can see the serious nodding the area. And that's the truth. You can just imagine you loving someone and you are going there to give a gift, and you find out that someone else has I know our viewers are looking at your faces right now. So I'm not saying that's what happened to you guys, but the facial expression is like confirming or affirming what I'm talking about. Maybe they've experienced it anyway. So one way or the other, this will bring heartbreak for some people. And talking about self-love, how do you come out of a shock like this in case you've experienced it before others try to imagine this happening? How do you come out of this kind of experience?
Okay, that's actually a wonderful question because heartbreak. Well, there's a song that says "Big Fast National Cake."
Exactly.
To touch everybody. But then, we've seen stories. We've had stories of heartbreaks and all. So heartbreak is real. I mean, one thing about we humans is if the love is not there, naturally we get tired of things. Let's be candid, we get tired of things. So now, the same thing can actually be applicable in relationship. But if the love is not there, trust me, if you are tired of that person, you just, what else is this person? No? That's all. But then, how do you handle heartbreak? I mean, someone that you love, use your body all your life to love that person, and bam, person just say, I'm not doing it again. That kind of a thing. So how do you handle it? I think I'm going to fall back to self-love. Yes, I'm going to fall back to self-love because if you love yourself genuinely and you're not at fault, or firstly, check, am I the one at fault? Am I the one that did something that caused that big? Yes, I think that's the first thing you do to check yourself, because as humans, we need to do this day-to-day self-awareness and all, sha. So I think check, am I get fault or am I the one that's not at fault? After that, if you know you're not at fault, pick up yourself and like just like I'm not at fault. He has lost a good thing, right? He has lost a good thing. Because if you because I think as I said, I'll come back at self. If you know that, if you know what you carry, if you know what you have, if you know your strength, if you know what you've invested in that relationship, and though it's painful, let's be serious, it's painful. Heartbreak takes a lot. So I think falling back on self-love, and mentally, I think you should go back to doing, or you should focus on what you love doing to help you heal. See, I'm talking about my next part, but I think but I mean, go back to what you love doing. If it's music you love listening to, emotional well-being, just go back to those stuff. If it's movie, if it's something, or you just go out, just look for those things that you do when you are single that gives you love, gives you understand. I myself, I love singing, so if by chance someone serve me breakfast, I fall back to music that gives me joy and just sing myself out, and I think that way. But firstly, love yourself. When you love yourself, that process will be easier. I think that's my perspective on this aspect. I love that. I have to wait for them. I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Taye, for the point you pointed, which is falling back. At the end of the day, you still fall back to self-love, which is very paramount. Thank you for that, which is the basic of our topic today. So, Miss Kenny, how would you cope with heartbreak?
Thank you very much, ma'am. I would say the easiest way to heal from heartbreak is to give yourself time to grieve. Like, if you want to cry, pour it out. And if you want to shout. Nobody is stopping you. So it will not cause another damage to your health. And the second part of it is that, like, let me say, improve yourself. So when next you guys see, you will know that he has lost something valuable. Yes, just improve yourself. Be a better version of yourself. And the last part I want to talk about is just open your mind and your heart to love again, so that you not transfer aggression into the next relationship. That's all I can say.
You really nailed it. I mean, the way you categorize the whole thing from up to down, it was just seamless. Like, it was a very detailed analysis. So I like the fact you talk about grieving. See, you have to let it out. If you don't let it out, it will choke you. Then improve on yourself, be a better version of yourself, and just open up your mind, like later on.
Can you say Mr. Tinga not tonight? He has experienced this thing many times, and he knows how to get out of it already.
All right, so that brings us to this other side, and it will be very unfair if we don't find a balance between this whole discussion, and that's the reason why we will be asking you now. In a world where divorce is on the rise, like, there is no time you go to social media. And the funny thing now is the couples that are divorcing, they are not 2 years, 3 years, most times like as much as 10 years, 15 years, and you want to ask, what is actually going wrong, or what could be the problem? So where do self-love come in trying to see that your marriage work or the family work?
Thank you very much. I feel anything that when we are talking about marriage, we have to talk about sacrifice. And we also have to talk about you compromising. There are some things you are into, and once you get married, you have to drop and you have to pick up others. I feel one of the things that is really leading to divorce nowadays. Look, fine. I will not advise that when the marriage gets violence, you remain there, because at the end of the day, whoever is involved will be the one to have him or herself to blame. So while you are still alive, I will advise separation is much more better.
Yeah.
At least you let that person feel your value while you are not there. And in course of that, it will open your eyes, to open the eyes of your partner that, okay, without this person, I can't do this. Without this person, I can't go this way. So, in case of how do you bring in this self-love in order to deal with, to combat or to reduce divorce, you just have to know that in marriage, which I've said is sacrifice, or you don't sacrifice your life because of that marriage. You don't sacrifice your life out while you are trying to make the marriage work.
Crucial aspect.
Marriage is something that has to involve a middle ground, where the one that is going too far will come closer, while the one that is even, you just have to reach a balance. Why, if you are able to do that, it will help, and it will also reduce this cause for the divorce of a thing. And if you don't love yourself, you don't know yourself deep in and out, you will not be able to know where you are lagging and where you are doing well. So love yourself, know your strength, know your weakness. And just like Mr. Tai talked about, knowing yourself, this of a thing will bring you to a realization that, okay, this is where I am at fault, leading to this heartbreak. This is where I need to adjust. It's part of self-love. We've seen marriages that broke down because of wife couldn't cook. We've seen marriages due to the fact that one partner is dirty, the other one is very meticulous in putting things in the right way. All these things we just have to work on ourselves, I feel, and that's to bring us back to the father. Marriage needs great, serious sacrifice. Serious sacrifice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So in essence, you need to there are certain things you need to compromise, and you need to strike a balance. That is very, very important. Thank you so much for your quota. And now over to you, Mrs. Esther. So how would self-love help in mitigating or reducing the level of divorce? Like, the divorce rate is very high, and most of the time, or particularly, they will say it's a men's word. So most time when you hear divorce case, people always want to shift the blame to the women, that is the woman, she's the one that is pushing the man outside. So what do you think, or where does self-love come in trying to reduce the level of divorce?
Okay, thank you. You see, marriage is key. Like Mr. Gbenga said, you need to sacrifice a lot in marriage. And I would like to add this. You need efforts. You need to put in more effort to protect the marriage, to nurture and to grow the marriage. As a woman, you say, it's not easy. As with the work schedule, you go to work, you will take care of the children, you will take care of your husband, everything is so fast, and we have just limited time to do that. But you still need to put in effort just to nurture the marriage, just to avoid divorce. You see, one thing is, I would like us to underline this. Take divorce as no option. Once you've determined as a woman that divorce is a no, I'm not going there. No option for me. It will be more easier for you to grow the marriage.
Yeah, so sorry to cut you short. So in essence, it's not good entering marriage with the notion that If he does any little thing, I think I'll just fight for because the rate at which people fight for divorce over, and sometimes they want to resolve this issue.
Now, some people have it at the back of their mind. Any little mistake, they will think the grass is greener outside. Just having it that or maybe I'll just go for no. Just take it as a no go area.
Yeah.
Then
And sorry, that's where also he said
then
something.
I would like to say this. Try to do what you were doing before marriage. Very important. It's very good. You see, we go on a date.
Spice it up.
Spice it up. Thank you. You go on a date. Sometimes let the children go to the grandma now. Let me and my husband go on a date. It's interesting. Going on a date with your husband, put yourself on a romantic level. Let the kids go to the grandma. Enjoy the marriage as if you were still single.
Yes. If you don't do that, it might get boring.
Yes,
Sometimes,
yes.
One thing I noticed recently is that the major reason, another reason for it is that the communication is very, very important. There are some things that you there shouldn't be anything that you not tell your husband. If you observe anything, you observe any change in him or in her, you should be able to talk about it. These are the things that I feel is a gradual thing. Okay, your husband, you feel is a faithful somebody, and you are realizing that the same this man is doing another thing, contrary to what he stands for. It's better you talk about it as early as possible.
Communication and attention.
Of course.
And attention. Yes, and attention. Sometimes you want to communicate with your husband and there will not be
attention.
Yes.
Okay. This attention that you are talking about, if you don't talk about it, that you need it at times. Guys, we are too busy, men, we are too busy. After an hour coming back, your head is hot already, and somebody is bringing gist to come and it's my. And another thing is, you should know the person you are marrying.
Yeah.
You should know the person you are dealing with. You should know the best time to discuss some things with him or with her. Not like I've seen a situation that a man went for a promotion exam and he failed. He came back. The wife, instead of serving him, putting him in a very good perspective, she brought empty plates with condiments and everything, and said, of course, and the man asked, "Where is my food?" He said, "Olodo, how can you?" Saying Olodo, there is no way you could. In that aspect, a lot of things will go through the mind of that man. Okay, let's assume I don't have a job. What will now happen to me? Despite the fact that I can still provide, I can still do this, I can still do that. She's calling me Olodo. Despite the fact that I bought the food,
To be compassionate.
instead of to show compassion, to at least show him, then communicate, tell him things that will calm him down, that will put him in the right frame of mind. Not like adding fuel to the fire, and you are expecting the marriage to grow out of. No. So I feel communication is really important. Through that communication, attention will come.
Yeah.
I need to spend more time with this person. It will come.
All right. So thank you so much. If we want to go on, it's an amazing session. Like we want to go on and on and on. But the key thing here to pick is communication. And marriage is a constant effort. Like you need to continually make that effort. And you mentioned sacrifice. Like you need to compromise some certain things. So with that being said, we're coming close to wrapping things up. But before we do that, I would like to hand over to my co-host to say one or two things, like in summary of what we've been discussing.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I haven't heard all of the things. I'm sure there are still much things to be discussed. There are so many things. As we're talking the other time, I'm checking this other side. You just not like in your city, and that's telling us that there's always an avenue to learn more things. And at this point in time, there's so much to still learn, but the time is not on our side. So running this particular episode, in a short while, I would like to tell you this. Self-love has to do with you yourself. And how can you live alone? Is it possible? We need others around us. We need our wife, we need our children, we need our parents. And you loving yourself is also putting their things into consideration as well, their well-being into consideration as well. So at this particular point in time, we would love to appreciate our guests for giving us their time to be on this show today. I know it's not so easy to bring them down here. Yeah, it's not easy at all. But we pray that this month of love will always bring about goodness and happiness in our lives and in our home entirely. So on this note, I'll hand over to Grace.
Yeah, thank you so much, my co-host, my wonderful co-host. So viewers, we want to really appreciate you for making our time to be with us on this special episode. And I hope it resonates with you, like our discussion. You've been able to pick one or two things from our discussion. On this note, we'll be rounding it up. Remember, it is vow season. It's not just about your spouse, it's not just about your lovers, it's about those homeless people on the streets, those people that are hungry, that need love or shelter. Look out for them, do what you can do within your power. Just put a smile on someone's face tomorrow. That is what this Valentine is all about. And above all, learn to love yourself. Without loving yourself, it will be impossible for you to love your neighbor, your wife, your children. So it's very important to put yourself first. On this note, we'd like to urge you to like, share, and turn on that notification button. And also, if you have any comments regarding what we've discussed today, we would love to engage you on our comment section. All you need to do is just go down on amuGOLD-TV, like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification button for subsequent interesting edition. Of course, we are going to be bringing interesting programs lined up for your viewership. Till then, keep it love and learn to love yourself. We love you so much. Bye.